I'm Jack Ricciuto, a collaboration designer based in Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm talking today about rhizomic growth. A rhizome is a living organism like wild grasses and ginger, where the growth is all at the edges. There's no growth that's centrally controlled like in other plants and living things. Things grow from the middle, grow from the center. They're kind of controlled in that manner. In a rhizome, like with ginger, if you've noticed that you bought in the stores of grown ginger, is that there's a bud, and then out from that bud there's another, and then out from that there's other buds. Each bud is designed to create more growth. And so growth is orderly, it's decentralized, and it's distributed. We have this amazing metaphor and image today of growth, and it's the rhizomic image. And it's the image, again, that's the opposite. From a funding policy point of view, it means funding things that agree to grow other things. This is the opposite of competition. So you're not funding things so that nothing else does what it does. It's the opposite of this mythology of we need to make sure there's no redundancy. So it's actually creating an ecosystem of redundancies. So that in redundancy in a network is important, because in redundancies you shorten the steps between one person, one entity, one set of assets to another. So you have multiple pathways, and the more ways that people have to connect, the more responsive and resilient the community, the more the community thrives, and the happier the community is. So there's a lot of talk these days about cities, growing cities, and the importance of cities. We're talking a lot about regions and growing regions. And it's an absolute oxymoron to say, how can we create a centralized plan to scale any kind of human growth? Because the sociology doesn't support it. The sociology of networks is that things grow organically by 1 and 2 people seeding that and spreading that and broadcasting that kind of virally throughout. This is how real growth happens in communities and organizations. This is how cities originally grew, that a small number of people helped grow a lot of other things around it. And so we have this amazing metaphor and image today of growth. When we look at traditional growth in the sense of how organizations grow, a lot of it is very centrally controlled. You have a board, you have a director, you have a CEO, and it's those people who control the growth, and they call it rolling out the growth or rolling out change. And this is the opposite of rhizomic growth. So an example is if a community garden gets a grant to start up, and the funder says, we want rhizomic growth as a community garden. What that means is that everybody who signs up to be a member agrees to also help grow other gardens, either in the community or outside the community. That they're somehow going to take their expertise or seeds or tools or time or talent, and they're going to help other things grow. So the metric of growth is not so much how that entity grows and how well it can control its growth and form a insular mission and footprint of scope, but actually we're talking about the scope moving out, that this is a garden that grows other gardens. And if it continues rhizomically, those gardens can grow others. So we can even look at this in a commercial way, and it's an exciting new paradigm, very new conversation. And the conversation is, how can we grow businesses in order to help other people grow and other businesses grow? This is actually working a lot in employee-owned businesses, where people come into a business, they become part of the employee-owned business, they learned all of the tricks of the trade, they're in every department, and they spin off and create other businesses and start to create a richer ecology of businesses. So if we talk about small businesses, let's say that a young couple set up a small shop, a food shop in their neighborhood. Well, they would be rhizomatic if they help other small shops pop up around the city or around the region. They don't necessarily have to be in that neighborhood, but maybe they are. Maybe their shop only carries dairy and cheese, but they've got other shops that they're helping to rhizomically create that has other products. Maybe it becomes a bakery. And maybe the bakery helps farmers grow wheat and product for the production of bread products and bakery products. Governments and corporations can think about rhizomic growth as they think about how to grow their network of vendors and suppliers, right? And do that in a way that helps that whole ecosystem grow in new ways. So I think there's some exploration to be done there, and the key is for them not to be afraid to be in the business of growing businesses, okay, that help your mission and also help the community, and not be afraid of doing that, because that's what moves economies forward. And ultimately, a stronger city or region means that that business itself is going to be stronger.